What's good everybody, Spektrades here. In this video, we're going over how I stopped FOMO when I found this continuation strategy. Let's get into it. First and foremost, my name is Wendell, but I go by the alias Spektrades. I am a full-time day trader and have been in the financial markets for half a decade. I specialize in ICT smart money concepts. My goal is to simplify smart money concepts and help you shorten your path to success. If you want to stay up to date with me, make sure to check out my Instagram at Spektrades. I have been mentored to over 1,000+ students, and if you want to join me for daily trading plus private lessons, you can just click the link in my bio, find all the links. You know, my Instagram, I post reels and I just post daily markups to keep you updated and always keep you refreshed. Without further ado, let's get into it. Before we hop on the live charts, first we have to go over our schematic into exactly how we are going to properly execute this strategy. So as you can see here, these are the keys to trading continuations properly. So the first key to trading continuations properly is to have a confirmed liquidity sweep / market structure shift / change of character or break of structure that happens, right? So as you can see here, price came in and gave us a liquidity sweep of this old low right here and give us a break of structure. So you might have missed this first entry right here, the first entry you were probably looking for, right? Now you have you might have missed it. So now you have FOMO, now you have fear of missing out, right? So relax, just pull back and relax, right? There's another entry. There's more entries that's gonna be created in this pattern right here, right? You don't have to catch the first sniper entry. You just have to relax and wait for price to show you more price action. So let's follow these keys right here. So for number 2 is we have to see consistent break of structures happen to the upside. So as you can see here, for number 2, we have to wait for price to give us a second confirmed break of structure, right? So if we miss this first entry right here, we have to wait for price to give us a second break of structure of an old high before we go finding a second entry to enter in to go higher, right? Because the second old high that got broken is going to set it up perfectly for us for our second entry, right? So for our third key is that a fair value gap or a old high has to be present, right? So as you can see here, right, after price purged through this old high right here, right, price is just gonna come back and reuse that old high now as support to push higher, right? So as price comes in here, that's where our fourth key comes in. We scale down to the lower time frames for us to see our sniper entry. Do not be scared, right? Do not be weary. Do not be scared that you have missed your sniper entry right here. A lot of people, right, when they miss this entry, they start scaling in here, right? They start scaling in without getting that proper break of structure, right? And what does price comes in do? Price just comes in backwards and push back lower and clears and takes them out perfectly right here. Stop loss hit, clean. So there's no reason to do that, right? There's no reason to be scared, right? So you might have not been on the charts. You might have just been taking care of family, right? So you probably have placed the limit and the limit didn't hit, right? It probably came close to your limit, right? But it didn't hit, and now price is rallying up. Just follow these keys right here, right? Follow these 4 keys right here, and then you're gonna always find yourself on the right side of the markets, right? And not chasing price, right? Just wait for price to give you a clean liquidity sweep and a break of structure of an old high, right? First, price taps into a higher time frame key level, give you a liquidity sweep and a break of structure of the old high, and then we see that price came back and reuse this first entry, right? Reuse it, right, to push price higher. But you missed this first entry. So how do you enter at this old high right here after this break of structure? So now this is 1 break of structure. This is 2 break of structures. Consistent break of structures, right? That's one of our keys. And now we use this old high, right, that got purged through. That was supposed to be held to push down as resistance, but price purged through it. Price came back down into it, reused it as support to push now higher. And then now we got another break of structure. Boom. And now what do we see? We are using a fair value gap now. Price is attracting to a fair value gap. And now we're using this fair value gap to now build this liquidity that pushes price higher and give us a second break of structure. What do we use when we come back? We come back down again. What do we use? This old high that got purged through. We place our stop loss right at the old low, right? Stop loss always goes right at the old low, but we're targeting old highs, right? For this one is the same thing also. The stop loss is right at the old low perfectly, and we're targeting old highs. And it's the same exact thing for the sell pattern. As you can see, we're looking for this old high to get purged. Now for a break of structure of this old low. So now if you miss this first continuation, right, a lot of people, they miss the first entry and now price is already starting to push down, right? So now you know that just follow these 4 keys right here. Wait for price to show you consistent break of structure, wait for price to pull back into an old high or a old low, right? As you can see here, an old high or a old low for the continuation to keep going, and then price will come back, reuse a fair value gap to keep pushing lower. If you see a range builded like this, usually the 50% of that range also align with this old high right here, old low that got purged through. Price will just come back into it, reuse it to push price lower. So this is our 4 keys right here to trading continuations properly, right? So just follow these right here. If you are having any form of doubt, I'll say, if you are having any doubt about trading, when you should enter, if you are having any doubt about when you should enter or when you should place a trade, just follow these 4 keys right here. Wait for a confirmed liquidity sweep in a break of structure to happen inside of your higher time frame point of interest. Wait for consistent break of structures. If you have missed your first entry, wait for consistent break of structures to the upside, and then wait for price to show you a old high that got purged through or an old low also, right? And make sure there's fair value gaps present also, right? Because price will pull through those fair value gaps. And then we're gonna scale down to the lower time frames to catch our snapper entry. So now let's hop on the charts and see exactly how this will. Now on the charts, we're just looking at this NAS 100 trade. So as you can see here, right, price taps into this higher time frame key level, right? So you can see price will wick down, give us a liquidity sweep to clear liquidity to the left of us, and then give us a market structure shift, as you can see here perfectly, right? And then price came back down, so we missed this entry, right? And then what do we see? We see that price give us a consistent break of structure right here of this old high. So we're just gonna mark that out as our break of structure. And then we're gonna see that price give us a buy side liquidity. So how do we enter inside this market? So as you can see here, we have our inversion fair value gap. Price purged through it, as you can see here, and price purged through it again. So as you can see, at one point, this was supposed to help price to go higher, but price purged through it, and then again price purged through it again. So now price is gonna come back and reuse it. That's our bias to push price higher to clear these old highs right here, right? So and everything is happening inside of our range, right? So make sure you guys watch my premium and discount zone video, right? So as you can see, everything is happening inside of our discount zone, right? So inside below our discount zone. And where do we place our stop loss? Stop loss is placed right below these old lows, right? Just like I stated, right below these old lows, you're just gonna place your stop loss cleanly. And then what we're targeting, buy side liquidity. So right, we missed this trade, but we don't have fear of missing out, right? We don't have fear of missing out because we follow the rules, right? We have a market structure shift and a break of structure of these old highs. So now we know that a new range has been formed from this low to now this high. So we just have to find an entry inside of this new range now. Even though we missed this range trade, right, this range entry, we can now find this range entry right here. So now let's play price and see exactly what it shows. And then as you can see, price came back down, tapped into our inversion fair value gap, and then rallied back up to clear our old high right here. So now let's look at another example of this working on the chart. And now let's get down to the lower time frames on the 1 minute to show you just a entry on the lower time frames how it would look like, right? So as you can see here, right, we did our pattern, our liquidity sweep inside of our higher time frame range. Price came inside a higher time frame zone. Price came inside of a higher time frame zone and gave us a liquidity sweep, right? And what we're looking for is a market structure shift. And then we're gonna look, and then a pullback, right? This is gonna be an entry. You probably missed this entry, right? Probably missed this entry, and you probably missed this second entry also. Now you have fear of missing out, right? Now you don't want to miss out on this trade because you are looking for this trade to attack these old lows right here, right? You're hoping for price to come attack these old lows, these old entry range lows, and you don't want to miss it, right? You just don't want to miss it. So these first 2 entries, you missed out on them, but just like I stated, just follow the keys. What we're looking for, a liquidity sweep and a market structure shift, and now we're looking for consistent break of structures, right? Consistent break of structures to the downside, as you can see here. So this is a lower time frame break of structure right here, probably on the 15 seconds because we're on the 1 minute. This is a 1 minute break of structure, and then as we can see, price is building up liquidity perfectly, and then we have our fair value gap. So this is another entry you could possibly get in now. Even though you missed this one and this one, you just have to wait for price to show you more price action, right? Build more volume, build more liquidity, and where you're targeting these old lows here. And if you miss this entry, right, you just keep doing the same exact thing, right? What do we wait for? This is probably a lower time frame break of structure. Price come back down, price comes back up, re-mitigate. This is another entry right here, perfectly. What we're looking for is the same thing, right? We're just gonna look for break of structures to the downside, right, of every old low. As you can see, price came in here, give us a breakup structure of this internal range low. This is the same liquidity sweep pattern happening again down here. Liquidity sweep, breakup structure, where we're targeting. So you see how much entries you can find, right? You don't have to have fear of missing out. You don't have to be scared that you missed out on this trade. There's so much entries, right? As you can see, this is another one. You're just looking for a breakup structure. As price is already correcting itself, right? We already have a confirmed liquidity sweep and a market structure shift. So now price is just gonna be respecting all the bullish PD arrays. So we're gonna be grabbing this right here, push price lower, right? As you can see, another one right here, another order block right here, push price lower. So price is just gonna respect all the bearish PD arrays to push price lower, or if we're in a bearish format, price is gonna, after every breakup structure, price is gonna come back, reuse the old high or old low to push price higher. After every breakup structure, come back, reuse that fair value gap, push price higher. After every breakup structure, come back, reuse that order block to push price higher. So it's the same thing for a buy format and a sell format. So I hope you got something out of this video right here. Do not have fear of missing out. There is always another trade. This is it. Spektrades out. If you are interested in joining my Patreon, it's patreon.com/SpecTradersHub, or the first link in the description. And right here we have the Spektrades Hub, where you can access the live trading with me every single morning on the Zoom calls. And right here we have our main scalping mastery strategy course right here that we have also. So is it. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Spektrades out.